What's up guys, Nathan here, and today I want to talk about why you always seem to get unlucky at the poker table, and it's probably not what you think. Let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so having coached hundreds of students at the small and mid-stakes games, this is something that I hear again and again, is I always seem to get unlucky. I get so many bad beats, coolers, setups, and the like. I try to implement all of the strategies that you teach me, but it never helps because the fish always get lucky against me and I can never show a profit. So is this true? Let's talk about it right now. I will say that the number one reason why it seems you always get unlucky in poker is because that most poker players have a very strong short-term bias. Guys, we're hardwired by our DNA literally to think in terms of, what happened lately, what happened yesterday, what happened today, and we're not actually very good at really seeing the big picture and remembering what happened last week, last month, or last year. And so a lot of poker players get wrapped up into their day-to-day results. What happened when I had pocket aces today? Oh, I lost all 3 times. This site is rigged. I always get unlucky in poker, and so on and so forth. And guys, the real key to this, in my opinion, is to focus on the data. This is why I've been such a big proponent over the years of using a program like Poker Tracker, for example, if you play online poker. And I'm not talking about the HUD that you can put on your screen. A lot of people think that that's the reason why I use it. And by the way, I'll have links for it in the description below. No guys, it's for the database. It's to be able to look through my database of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and even millions of hands, and to see the cold hard data on my screen. How much is my pocket aces actually losing? Oh, when I actually look at the sample over 100,000 hands, it's actually close to the EV, the expected value of where it should be. So guys, if you're having problems with short-term biased thinking in poker, honestly, let's admit it, we all have problems with that at times. I would really suggest relying on the long-term data. Perhaps if you play live poker, maybe keep a journal on the side. Any way that you can to try to widen your perspective so you don't get so wrapped up in individual hands. Let's move on to point number 2 now, why a lot of people think they get so unlucky in poker. And I think this one is probably even a little bit more important, is that they forget all their so-called holds. A hold in poker, famous in tournaments, of course, is, hold one time. You have the best hand, maybe you've got ace king, and some sort of weaker player's gotten it all in and they've got ace jack, and you're just hoping the jack doesn't come, or they hit some sort of weird straight or something like that. So we've all been in this situation, but the problem is, guys, is that we always forget when our hand holds. And there's a famous quote that I always go back to. I think it's Francis Bacon. He said that the root of all superstition is that men observe when a thing hits, but they do not when it misses. And literally, guys, you can go to any poker game in the world and you can see this in action. Anytime your ace king holds against the ace jack, as it should around 70% of the time or so, we don't think much about it. We're just like, oh, finally my luck, is evening out a little bit. And we literally just erase it from our memory within seconds. Honestly, most people don't even think much about it. But when they hit that 30% shot, when they catch that jack on the river, we'll obsess about it and steam about it for hours or even days. And guys, so this is really why a lot of this thinking about how unlucky people get comes from. This is the root cause of it. They focus all of their attention on the times when the thing hits and not on the majority of the time when it misses. Once again, it really boils down to looking at the long-term data, to understanding that this is a long-term game that we play for our results over the course of months, years, and decades in some cases. And so while it is true that you're going to catch bad beats in the moment sometimes, guys, most of the time, as we often forget, your hand does hold. That's the cold hard reality over the long run. You need to find ways to constantly remind yourself of that. All right, so my final suggestion for you guys who are frustrated with your bad luck at the poker tables is really just to change your focus. Now, there's several ways to go about this. I've experimented with eliminating even looking at any kind of short-term results at all. I've done stuff with online poker experiments in the past where I stack tables on my screen, and I don't even watch results of hand. I've actually had a lot of success with this in the past because it allows me to just focus on playing my best. By the way, if you want to know my complete strategy for beating small and mid-stakes poker games, I do have a free poker cheat sheet. That'll be the top link in the description below. You can download it for free and check it out yourself. But basically, it allows me to constantly just implement the strategy that I teach in the free poker guide there again and again without allowing my emotions to get involved at all. Now, a lot of people play live poker, of course. It's not really possible to not look at the results of hands. And honestly, I don't really do this anymore with online poker as well. It is a little bit difficult and I don't mass multi-table as much anymore. But what you can do is stop obsessing over your day-to-day results, especially if you play online poker. You don't have to check your cashier, guys, every 5 minutes. I was terrible at this for the longest time, and I started challenging myself to just simply stop clicking the damn cashier button and obsessing over how much I was either up or down in the specific session I'm in, and allowing that to affect my mood, and therefore, you know, if I'm down a lot, put me on tilt, cause me to start playing poorly, and so on. So guys, if you are properly bankrolled for the games that you're playing in, which I'm going to assume you are, if you're serious about poker, you're watching a video like this. You know, I'm not speaking to recreational players here who, you know, play a $100 poker game and their bankroll is $200. I mean, any serious poker player knows that that's an absolutely foolish strategy. So assuming you have a big proper bankroll, I've got articles on my website, by the way, for bankroll management if you want to know more about my suggestions. I'll leave some links for that in the description below. But assuming you have the funds to play poker, you guys really shouldn't need to worry so much about your day-to-day results, because that's why you have a big bankroll, so that you can navigate the natural ups and downs of this game, and you can just focus on playing your best, focus on the process, which is the entire point of the game. That's how you're going to get the best results, guys, because the day-to-day stuff, we have no control over it. The best player in the world can easily lose to the worst player in the world on any given day, but over the course, we increase the sample size to, you know, weeks, months, years. The best player in the world is going to literally just wipe the table with the weaker players. So guys, I hope that a few of the tips in this video help a few of you guys out that are suffering right now through periods where you feel like you're getting extra unlucky at the poker table. I should mention that ruminating on this kind of stuff really doesn't help at all. You'll see all over the internet, there's a lot of people that just think everything's rigged and everything. They're, you know, very superstitious about a lot of stuff. And I will say that those people have lost the game already. Like, they're not going to have success. If you want to go down that rabbit hole, number one, I would just ask, why are you even playing? You know, if a certain poker site or a certain poker room is rigged against you, why do you keep playing there? I can honestly never understand that. But if you're going to go down that rabbit hole where you literally think the game is fixed against you, I really don't have any advice for you other than you probably should just quit poker. And I always get a lot of downvotes from those kind of people when I make videos like this, because there's always going to be a certain amount of people who play poker who are just convinced that it's rigged against them. So I just want to be clear that I'm not speaking to those people in this video. I don't really have a whole lot of advice for people like that other than I think you should just quit. If the game's rigged against you guys, just quit. There's no point in torturing yourself with that. So, and of course, there's no way that we can ever know for sure that the stock market's not rigged, that an election is not rigged. There's no way to know for sure about many things in life, but I am speaking to the majority of people in this video who have not gone down that conspiracy theory rabbit hole of it's all rigged against me. So to sum up, guys, hang in there if you're going through a rough stretch right now. It always does get better. This is the thing that I learned, especially early on in my professional poker career, is that there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. You just need to keep employing a strong fundamental strategy again and again. And as I always say, just let the math sort itself out over the long run. And I think you're going to have a lot more success at the poker tables. All right, guys, like and subscribe if you found this one helpful. And once again, you can grab a copy of my free poker cheat sheet. That'll be the top link in the description below. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I will catch you next time.